In this video, we're going to show you how to retain your guard against this pass. Hey everybody, Matt MacDonald, Balanced Jiu-Jitsu. I'm here today with Coach Blonde Fury, and we're going to be providing you details on how to retain your guard from the knee cut pass. So if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Otherwise, let's get into the technique. A knee cut pass is a commonly used and high percentage pass in Jiu-Jitsu. I'm going to show you guys one of my favorite go-to ideas for defending this pass. So if I'm playing from a seated guard, we're going to get into an engagement phase. If I lose this engagement phase, it's very likely that Marcia is going to make a move to put my back on the floor so that she can expose my legs. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is keep my knees nice and tight. I don't want them to be loose so that she has opportunities to leg drag, right? And create these openings where she can start to get in between my arm and my leg. So I'm staying really tight. If she can't achieve separating my knees from my body, then it's very likely that one of her ideas is going to be to start to move into the knee cut pass. So as she comes in, she's controlling my legs and she's moving down into this position. So what I want to look to do is, as she's moving down into the knee cut pass, I want to start to punch and make this 4-finger grip frame into her collar. Okay, when I get these knuckles pushing in against somebody's neck, it's really hard for them to pressure into me. So I've started to frame out on her neck. This is making it hard for her to pressure into me. But if she's heavy, then it's going to be hard for me to build up to my elbow. So the next thing I want to look to do here is I'm going to use my leg as a pendulum so that when I'm bringing it down, I can start to build to my elbow. Okay, I also want to think in this case, if my opponent is quite a bit heavier than me, that I'm not going to be moving them, I'm going to be moving me. So when she moves into this position, I'm framing, I pendulum, and as I'm coming up, I'm going to be scooting myself back in order to relieve the pressure that she's causing from being on top of me. Now, of course, as I'm moving away, she's going to be looking to turn into me. So as I make my space, the first thing I'm going to do is get control of her hands so that she's not easily able to access my legs or get my back on the floor and start to look to pass again. Let's take a look at this from a different angle. So I'm in my seated guard and I'm getting involved in this engagement phase. Like I said before, if I lose, it's likely she's going to make a move to get my back on the floor to expose my legs. Her next move is going to be looking to enter into the knee cut position. So she's moving laterally and dropping down onto my leg with the hope that she's going to be able to pin my leg to the floor and advance her position into a spot where she can start to attack submissions and win the fight. So as she's coming down, I start to stick my 4 fingers in the collar, and I'm really framing out so that I'm creating a lot of pressure on her neck, making it really uncomfortable for her to pressure in towards me. Okay, and then like I said here, in a lot of cases, it could be hard for me to start to try to build up to my elbow dealing with somebody's weight on me. So that's when I'm going to use this leg to help pendulum and start to lift myself up. As I'm lifting myself up, I'm going to be building to my elbow and pushing myself away from her. And then she's going to be following. So as soon as I can square up, the first thing I want to do is see if I can't get control of her hands. Because again, if she's able to establish grips of her own, it's very likely that she's going to be able to achieve a pass. So always on the end of some guard retention movements, the first thing I'm going to look to do is get control of their hands so that maybe I can establish a guard of my own. Okay, let's take a look at one more angle from this position. So Marcia gets my back on the floor. She gets control of my legs. She's starting to move laterally. And as she's dropping down into the knee cut, I want to start to look for that frame. So really important that my 4 fingers go inside of her collar and then I'm rolling my knuckles so that they're punching into her neck. That way, if she's trying to pressure into me, it's very uncomfortable. Like I said before, if I'm not able to get up to my elbow here, I'm going to be using my leg to help me pendulum and get my weight up. And then, like I said, I'm not really trying to push her off of me per se here, as much as I'm just keeping my frame intact and then I'm moving myself away from her, right? Once she's come up and I can square up with her, the next thing I'm going to look to do is engage in this hand fight again. Maybe I can get a grip on a collar. Whatever I can do that I can establish a guard of my own and start to go to work from here. All right, if you found any of those tips helpful, hit that like button, share the technique, and leave comments down in the comment section below. It really helps us to put out better content for our audience. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for coming, everybody.